Lisa Devine, and welcome to 12 News Weekend. Every week, we take a look back at some of the best stories from our 12 News journalists. On today's show, Gilbert firefighters have a new investigative team member, an arson-sniffing canine. How the department's four-legged friend is already helping solve cases. And then later, Major League Baseball is finally back in Tempe for this year's Dream Series. And for some of these players, sports runs in the family. But first, new robots are rolling through some Valley neighborhoods, delivering everything from tacos to toilet paper. So could one of these be cruising down your street soon? 12 News journalist Trisha Hendricks has the story.
DoorDash's new delivery service was created to handle the smaller items that may not require a full-size car, like a tube of toothpaste or a pack of diapers. Quite a few people saw them cruising along Elliott Road over the weekend.
It's kind of cool because robots are always going to be cool.
DoorDash robot deliveries are raising eyebrows on Valley roads.
I think convenience, but I also think things like, there's a lot of people that rely on DoorDash for income too, so what does that impact?
Greg Carrier has seen DoorDash's delivery robot Dot on the roads a number of times.
One of the first ones that I saw was while I was moving into this neighborhood, there was one I was getting ready to make a turn, and it just crossed the intersection. I was like, what is that? They kind of look like those toy cars for the toddlers, and I thought like somebody's kid was on the loose.
Dot is 4.5 feet tall and 350 pounds. It uses GPS and special technology to navigate not just roads, but also sidewalks, bike lanes, and footpaths at speeds of up to 20 miles an hour. Plus, they gave it LED headlight eyes, and its mouth opens up to reveal the delivery. DoorDash says the goal is to help reduce congestion and emissions. Right now, Dot is being tested in the Phoenix metro area. DoorDash Labs VP and head of autonomy says with more than 10 billion deliveries under our belt, we've learned what works and what doesn't and what scales. Making autonomous technology work for delivery requires reimagining it from the ground up. While people like Greg can see how convenience is a big benefit for many, he has mixed opinions on how it will affect drivers. Greg has already experienced some traffic trouble when he was riding in a Waymo.
The Waymo wouldn't pass it because it had blue enough lights on the dot that the Waymo thought it was a tiny emergency vehicle. So there we are in traffic, and this Waymo is going 15 miles an hour, and cars are trying to get around us, and so
It's a precarious situation.
Yeah, a few kinks to work out.
I think it's safe to say it will definitely be interesting to see how the technology moves into the Phoenix metro area from here.
Yeah, it's a real wait and see.
From what we're hearing, DoorDash is also exploring other delivery methods like drones as well. In the East Valley, Trisha Hendricks, 12 News.
Walk into Farm Angel's Sanctuary, and you may be surprised.
I'm gonna come say hi. Oh, careful, careful.
From emus to pigs, there are dozens of different animals, each with their own story.
Come here, Toro.
Anybody else would have given up on him. He was in a wheelchair that didn't work. And he came here and Lisa got him a wheelchair, took him to physical therapy. Toro walks now. Who does that?
There, that's my good boy.
Lisa Buccigrosi does.
Just always had that desire to want to help.
She's the founder,
We have just over 100 animals.
who wanted to create a place giving abused, neglected, or abandoned animals the chance to be animals again.
We have a photo bomber. So we have horses and cows. We also have sheep, goats, pigs, llamas, alpacas. We have some emus, and then we have some smaller animals like our chickens and peacocks. It's definitely a second chance that most of these animals would not have had if they hadn't come here. Most of them probably wouldn't be alive if they didn't have this opportunity to come into the sanctuary.
The operation is run entirely by Lisa,
That's Katie.
as well as more than a dozen or so volunteers,
So we come once a week.
like Emery Bush,
We do whatever projects we can to help make life a little bit easier here for the animals and for Lisa.
who says from the raking to sweeping and even playing, the work being done here is life-changing.
How would you kind of describe this place?
Without tears, You know, you come here and you see animals, they've been abused, they've been neglected, and you come here and you see them live this amazing life here. It changes you. It changes you. One person is single-handedly doing this 24 hours by herself. And you're like, how could I not? How can I not jump in?
Oh, is little Sammy coming? You're gonna love little Sammy. Sammy!
The sanctuary is giving animals a second chance.
He was attacked by a dog and just left. By having myself and others who support the sanctuary, the animals are given that chance to survive and to thrive.
Yeah, they feel good. Look at you mohawking.
And to live a life filled with hope again. Jay Cunningham, 12 News.
And coming up, a fight for his life and a second chance to live it. How a COVID survivor's journey led to a lung transplant and the milestone that he is now celebrating. We'll be right back.
I always thought that if I could ever earn the trust of the people watching me, that would be the greatest accomplishment ever. Because if you think about our mantra, dedicated to journalism, dedicated to you, has never been more important. A good journalistic organization like 12 News, we can't and don't have an agenda. We have to play it down the middle every single night to bring about positive change and to solve problems in communities.
In the dead of night, seems quiet right now. There's a lot happening in the valley.
We've got a fire in Tempe. We're sending Troy.
In those early morning hours, 12 News is here because journalism never sleeps.
12 News Today in AZ, I'm Justin Pizarro.
David Chasnoff, 12 News.
Live here in Gilbert, Troy Lynch, 12 News.
12 News Today in AZ, dedicated to you.
Focusing on the local stories
and their impact on your day.
Welcome to Today in
12
AZ.
News Today in AZ, weekdays at 4:26 a.m.
Myself, my sister, and my brother-in-law were all in the hospital at the same time. My brother-in-law, he didn't fare so well. Unfortunately, he passed away.
5 years ago, Arthur Sanchez's life was at stake.
It was a tough journey for my family because we were hit so hard.
During the early days of the COVID-19 pandemic, the virus damaged his lungs.
I ended up getting transported to UNM Hospital.
There he underwent treatment on an ECMO machine, typically used as the last resort therapy that takes over for failing lungs.
I had flatlined a couple of times.
After 93 days, he was weaned off the machine, but unfortunately, his lungs were severely damaged. Doctors told him a lung transplant was his only option.
For me to be considered for that and given that option was just another, in my mind, another miracle that happened.
Arthur's medical team sought out Dignity Health St. Joseph's Norton Thoracic Institute team, and within 2 weeks of his arrival, the transplant team found a donor match for Arthur.
Art was one of the first few in the country to get transplanted for post-COVID fibrosis.
In April of 2020, he received the life-saving double lung transplant at Dignity Health St. Joseph's Hospital and Medical Center.
St. Joseph Hospital did an amazing job.
Arthur is now a living testament to the power of a second chance as he celebrates 5 years of miraculous milestones.
I'm truly blessed to be here. My family is growing. I have a grandbaby now and a grandbaby on the way, and I was able to marry off my youngest daughter. Just to experience those things within these past 5 years have been amazing.
To see him 5 years down the lane, doing amazingly well and being able to enjoy what he thought he had lost is a great satisfaction.
His story, a reminder of the complexities we face during the pandemic, but most importantly, how with the talented medical team's work combined with his determination and family support, Arthur was able to make a remarkable recovery.
I give thanks to the good Lord every day.
Trisha Hendricks, 12 News.
Ready to go to work?
Meet Xanadu.
Let's go to work.
Who at nearly 3 years old.
She helps us as investigators identify where accelerants are in a fire.
Is Arizona's newest tool at investigating suspicious fires.
There's about 70 accelerant detection canines in the U.S. scattered across, so it's a very specialized dog, and she is currently the only ATF accelerant dog in Arizona. Yes, good girl.
After months of training,
she is trained by the ATF.
This yellow lab officially began work in October.
This is my food pouch. This is how she's rewarded.
Her predecessor, Zeta, retiring after 6 years on the job.
The prior dogs had a lot of big cases, and that other handler has had an incredible reputation. Seek. She's a very driven dog. She's playful, but she knows when it's time to work.
Working each day with handler Josiah.
We train twice a day, 7 days a week.
So she can find what humans can't.
There's no way for us to humanly smell, typically, trace amounts of accelerants in a scene because you have the fire, and then you have water that's put on it for suppression. And then you might have overhaul where stuff's been pulled down, so she's able to smell that for us. So it allows us to process scenes a lot more efficiently. Show me. Good girl.
3 months in, her nose has already proven itself.
I just got our first lab results back from a case we worked right when we got back, and so she's been doing her job.
And is ready to continue where Zeta left off.
We can get called anywhere here within Arizona.
Ready to help Arizona find the truth.
Yes. Good girl.
One sniff at a time. Jay Cunningham, 12 News.
At UCP of Central Arizona's Downtown East campus, an incredible physical therapy session is underway between Gigi, her 15-month-old son Aaron, and his physical therapist Laura. They showed me how he uses the Baby G early mobilization system designed for infants and toddlers. Doctors gave Gigi difficult news when Aaron was 6 months old.
My son was diagnosed with cerebral palsy, which limits his body functioning and comes from having brain damage.
The neurologist told her what to expect.
He said that my son would not walk or talk or just to not expect much from him.
Despite those challenges, she also saw strengths.
Laughing, communicating, being in a relationship with us, being able to use his own body, weight bear.
Since then, Gigi has been an advocate for early diagnosis and intervention. And that's where the Baby G robotic trainer and his physical therapist come in.
As a PT, it's a dream because we get to work on all the things that we might be doing already or focusing on already, but in a way that really supports the kiddo to reach the goals that they're working on too.
Laura's witnessed firsthand how kids like Aaron are making progress.
Being able to see him even initiate the smallest of thing, which is really the hugest of inch stones, we call them, to working towards his big milestones. It's been really cool to just see that start to kind of unlock different.
The Baby G uses a robotic body weight support system in an overhead 3D play space so babies as young as 6 months can practice balance tasks, repetition, and gain motor skill experiences in a safe environment. UCP of Central Arizona is the world's first therapy clinic to offer it. This monumental investment in pediatric physical therapy, helping young children like Aaron with motor impairment learn to sit, crawl, stand, and eventually walk.
He's a miracle every day, every session that we have, he does something new.
This system giving moms like Gigi a life-changing resource to tap into, covered by insurance.
He uses every limb of his body and he's trying so hard, and he was able to stand on his own 2 feet and take a couple steps, so it gives me a lot of hope.
Hope, the most important part.
He's gonna be up and walking. I have hope for him, and there's no rush on it. I'm not gonna put a rush on it, but I could see it in his future, and it's exciting.
In Phoenix, Trisha Hendricks, 12 News.
Arizona needs Club Kids, and Club Kids need you. At Boys and Girls Clubs of the Valley, with support from State Farm, Valley Toyota dealers, and Semper Fi Heating and Cooling, we're helping shape brighter futures for Arizona's youth through education, mentorship, and opportunity.
Finances are tight. Prices are going to continue to spike. Wants to raise the rate. Gas prices, interest rates, debt costs.
12 News has answers on Money Saving Monday.
Saving the green today.
To help you spend a little bit less at the pump.
Retirement security.
Soared to a new record high.
Explain it in simple terms.
Simple steps we can all take to change our financial future.
Money Saving Monday, all day long, only on 12 News.
Hundreds of people come together at Dr. A.J. Chandler Park for the Chandler Multicultural Festival, part of the city's Celebration of Unity events. The annual event honors the legacy of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. and the ideals of the civil rights movement.
Dr. King always talked about, he's got so many great quotes and talks about love, and it talks about community, and that's what this is.
Organizers recognize the inspiring voices of our youth through the creative expression competition and honored outstanding individuals with the 4th annual MLK Junior Award winners.
All of the winners from Chandler Unified School District who had these great art pieces.
Bringing people together to embrace cultures from around the world. Dancers like Brielle and Forever Worthy ready to take the stage.
I'm so excited.
Sabrina Zhao just wrapping up her performance.
My piece is about this young lady, and she's watching a flying bird, and the bird has more freedom than her. This was referring to China back then, a long time ago. I hope they can see a little bit more of the Chinese culture that we don't often see.
The event made possible by the City of Chandler's connection and impact.
It's really wonderful to be able to see and meet new people.
Complete with an international shopping market, kids zone, custom cruiser car show, and the World Bazaar.
I got to eat a pork belly sandwich from Monomobile. Outstanding.
In celebration of the 250th anniversary of the signing of the Declaration of Independence, Chandler kicking off the celebration with this display. The 27 flags are history through the stars and stripes.
It's the evolution of the flags from our history throughout the 250 years. But this was just our way of kind of bringing together that history, showing how changes happen and how we're all one big united community.
This vibrant festival celebrating our community's rich heritage and diversity. In Chandler, Trisha Hendricks, 12 News.
Speaking of the Cardinals, listen, Cardinals fans, I know it was a tough year, but I hope the rest of the NFL knows we truly have some of the best fans here in Arizona. Thank you for surviving such a tough season, but I will say this, very few more passionate than our next guest right here in studio from Casa Grande, Kenny Salinas, the Cardinals 2025 Fan of the Year. Kenny, what's going on, man?
Not much, Cam. How you doing?
Good to see you.
Always good to see you.
Good. You want to give a shout out to Casa Grande out there?
Hey,
Come on.
Casa Grande, you know I love you. Every time I call the radio station, it's Kenny from Casa Grande, so absolutely.
Kenny from Casa Grande here in studio,
Yeah.
the Cardinals Fan of the Year.
Yeah.
Kenny, real quick, I know you've been a Cardinal fan for a long time, probably approaching 20 years now, right? Season ticket holder?
Well, as season ticket holder, but I've been since they got here.
Yeah, so even longer than that. What did it mean to be named the Fan of the Year?
And man, it's a blessing. You know, it really is, especially the way the Cardinals set it up and the way they did it.
They got you.
Yeah, they did. And my wife had no idea. Nobody had any idea about it. And they came to the food bank.
How does it feel to be the 2025 Arizona Cardinals Fan of the Year?
What's it look like? They came and they did a presentation there, which we had no idea that was happening.
You mentioned the food bank, Kenny. I know you do so much for the community.
Yes.
Just run us through what you do and why you do it.
Okay. Well, I'm like I said, I'm the president of the Casa Grande Food Bank. I'm the vice president of the Pinal County Junior Livestock, which is our 4-H program in the county. Like every county has a 4-H program, and that's what we do there. I serve on the Salvation Army board. I serve on CASA for foster kids, PCII for foster kids. I'm the recording secretary for Union 387, our local union. And the last 3 years, I've been delivering food to the Martin Luther King Day of Remembrance here in Casa Grande.
Does that bring you the most joy in life?
Absolutely. You know, I love, like my wife thinks I'm silly,
crazy.
But I go like—
You were going to say crazy,
Yeah,
huh?
crazy. I think I'm crazy, but you know, I go to the food bank every single morning at 4:30. If it's in between 4:30 and 5, I work literally about a half mile from the food bank, so it's easy and convenient for me to stop by. I used to go there once a week, And then I used to go twice a week, and then I started doing it by myself. I started going every day just because it's easier to maintain.
You know, you're a linesman, right? Been doing that for
Yes.
20 years, right?
Yep, I've been with Arizona Public Service for 19 years alone. And I started off at another little company. I worked there 9 years, so I've got about 28 years in the trade.
So you got a full-time job. You got a full-time job in the community helping people.
Yep.
You got a full-time job as a fan.
Yep.
Loving husband.
Yep.
How do you do all this, man? What's the secret?
Well, like
Never
my wife
don't get
said,
tired?
Yeah, you don't get tired. You don't go to sleep. And then I'm a horrible sleeper, so that's why I go to the food bank every morning at 4:30 in the morning.
Most people know you as the license plate guy, right? You've been
Correct.
How long you been the license plate guy for? A long time.
Well,
now, right?
ever since the Cardinals came out with the personalized license plates, I started collecting them, and I'm upward in the, I would say, closer to the 110 to 120 personalized license plates.
That's a lot of them.
It is.
And I know this year you took your fandom to kind of the next level. Despite the terrible season, Kenny was there at every game. If there was something during the bye week, he would have hit that too as well.
Absolutely.
When did you get the idea to go to every game in the season?
You know, I was going to do this. Me and a great friend of mine, he passed away in 2018, Keith Barlow. And he was a huge fan. Everybody knew him. You know, we talked about it for about 2 years before. I said, hey, for my 50th birthday, I'm going to go every stadium. And he told me that when you turn 50, I'm doing it everyone with you. Because Keith used to go to every game as well. And then, so that happened to me on COVID 2020. So I held off a couple of years, and I thought, you know what, I'll do it for my 55th birthday. And then my 55th birthday came, and I decided we're going to make a run at it, and we're doing it. And then we started it preseason, and then regular season started, and then I ended up getting Fan of the Year in the same year. So it's kind of like a blessing in disguise. You know, it all happened for the right reason.
How much did you think of your friend?
Man, I think of him all the time. You know, like I said, I've got a little thing, a card that I carry with them every single game. Every game, every time I go to, I take a card with them. I got little things like that, you know, like Mr. Bidwell, he always carried that little tie. And then when I take a tie with me every single game, I've never missed. You know, I carry it in my pocket, you know. It's kind of my deal, like I just take them both with me. Sometimes it's so awesome because, I mean, the security has to literally run you out of the stadium, just like at home.
You're not leaving early?
No.
Even if bad loss, you don't leave early?
Absolutely not. Never.
Kenny, it's awesome to have you here in studio. It's been a pleasure to know you all these years and all the things you do. I think I speak on behalf of everybody here in the Valley. Congratulations on winning Fan of the Year.
Thank you.
And thank you for everything that you do for our community. You truly make it a better place.
Awesome. Thank you, Cam. And if I can say one last thing, you know, you guys, we got until like the Wednesday before the Super Bowl to continue voting. You know, I'm just the Arizona Cardinals Fan of the Year. You can vote every day, all day long, as much as you want. Go to NFL.com, and there's 32 fans out there.
Simple. Vote for Kenny, all right?
Absolutely.
If anything, come on, this man deserves it, right? Kenny, real quick, you're going to the Super Bowl, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah, what's that experience going to be like?
It's going to be, I mean, I'm so pumped up and excited.
Ever been to a Super Bowl?
Never been. Never been. Like I said, I've done everything, every game day, game night that you can do. Now, I'm going to knock it off at the Super Bowl.
And you're going to be wearing that?
Absolutely. This one right here. Yep. 25, Fan of the Year. Go vote.
From Pilgrim Rest Baptist Church through downtown Phoenix, hundreds marched together on Martin Luther King Jr. Day, honoring a legacy built on justice, equality, and service.
It was just amazing with all of the groups that came out.
Perfect weather, packed streets, and a shared purpose, bringing people of all ages together.
Pure freedom. It's the beauty in blackness. It's everything. It's the beauty in togetherness as well. Walking together, standing together.
For many, the march is both a celebration and a time to reflect on the struggles that came before.
It's just celebrating freedom and the different things that so many have went through.
Someone who actually made a difference in society and that carries on to the next generation of leaders.
It's trying to show the power that we can have when we all come together and stand up for something that we believe is good. And that's what I think this country is ultimately about.
For some, this tradition spans decades.
I have not missed not one single march in 26 years, not one. And even when we had COVID, I still did my own personal march.
A visible reminder of how far the country has come and how much has changed.
Look at us now.
Unity.
If you'd have went back when I was born, I couldn't have been friends with her. We wouldn't have made it on TV or nothing. It would have been a problem.
At the center of this morning's march, a symbolic torch.
Yeah, I got to hold the torch, which was actually really big for me because my grandmother was in the original march with Martin Luther King, and it was a really big thing for me because it's passing the torch to me, my mother, her daughter.
State leaders also joining in.
I got to march. I was privileged enough to, hold that torch up, and it's just a symbol of light. And I think in these times when people are divided, a day like today is great for just bringing people together, have a good time.
Organizers say today's march is a reminder that the fight for equality didn't end in the history books. It continues today. We're in Phoenix. Kyle Simchuk, 12 News.
Thanks everyone for watching, and a reminder, new episodes of 12 News Weekend premiere every Friday on 12+. You can also watch past episodes on the app. All you have to do is download 12+ on your Apple TV, Fire TV, and Roku, and you can watch it all for free. I'm Kadiba Divine. Have a fantastic rest of your weekend.
Valor, dedication, sacrifice. Members of our military make a positive impact on our communities long after they take off the uniform. That's why Semper Fi Heating and Cooling is proud to join 12 News in honoring those who serve. We're seeking nominations for those who inspire, who give, and who protect. Share their story and help us shine a light on their selfless service. Nominate your hero today at 12news.com/those who serve. Let's celebrate the brave men and women who give so much for our freedom.